is going on, guys? It's Blue Eyes White Dragon and welcome back to another video. Now, today we're going to try something different in the channel. We are bringing you a Time Wizard Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile, or otherwise known as GOAT format, whatever you want to call it. So, we decided to give GOAT format a go, and of course we had to play the brickiest deck in Yu-Gi-Oh, which is me, Blue Eyes White Dragon. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure you like and subscribe. Now let's get started with this deck profile.
Stardust, Black Rose, no hope, life low. Alright, I'm set, I got my deck. I'm about to head to my homie crib next. I got a brand new combo with some chicks. I'm about to burn them for 8,000 quick. Got it on standby so you can't draw. Main face ain't shit, go to your school face, that mean you lost.
Kaiba. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Alright guys, so let's get started with this deck profile. This is a GOAT format, or the official name I believe is Time Wizard format, Blue Eyes White Dragon build. Now, if you're unfamiliar with GOAT format, I am just going to call it GOAT format throughout the video. So if you're unfamiliar with GOAT format, I like to refer to it as old school Yu-Gi-Oh! You do have some really broken cards. There is a special ban list. It's a bit different to your TCG format. You obviously draw a card when you go first. You've got cards like Graceful Charity, Pot of Greed, a lot of the banned cards that we've got in advanced format in the TCG. But I don't know, I quite enjoy the format. I quite like playing it. I mean, Blue Eyes was obviously my first choice. It all sort of started when Odie, a good friend of mine from locals, sort of like messaged the group chat, and he was like, yo, everyone, like, try and get everyone to basically build a GOAT deck so we could play, which, I mean, obviously had its effect on me. The only thing that bothers me about this deck is that obviously I didn't have a lot of the cards, so I had to like sort of rush to get them. So you will see some mixed rarities in this, and you know how special I am about my rarities and high rarities, so I hope you don't get as triggered as I do when I'm playing this mixed rarity deck. So enjoy the deck profile, guys. Now, enough talking, let's get started. Alright, so actually starting with the deck profile now, I am just going to show obviously the cards and everything, and then at the end, once I've shown everything, try and explain like the sort of basic combo line that you want to do with this deck. I am still very new to the GOAT format, so if I do make a mistake, do correct me. But yeah, here it is, guys. Now let's get started. We are playing, of course, it's a Blue Eyes build, so of course we want the three legendary dragon, 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is basically, I mean, your boss monster. It's a 3k beater in GOAT format. That is very, very strong. So Blue Eyes White Dragon, and this basically you want to turbo it out. Well, I say turbo it out with Kaiba Man. Kaiba Man is your main go-to. You really, really want to see Kaiba Man in your hand, because then you can Blue Eyes White Dragon. Obviously, I mean, GOAT format is sort of like old school, well, it is old school Yu-Gi-Oh! So you don't have that turboing out of like special summoning 50 monsters from your deck. So it is very, very old school. So Kaiba Man is definitely the card you want to see. Another very important monster to the deck is the Fusiler Dragon. I never know if I'm pronouncing Yu-Gi-Oh cards correctly, but this is basically your metamorph target. It's basically what you're going to turbo out your Dragoon with. And then obviously you can normal summon it, attack and defense gets halved, but it doesn't matter because you're just going to send it off with Metamorph. The next card, 3 Shining Angel. This is basically, you want to search your Kaiba Man with this. When this card is destroyed by battle, you get to search that light monster with 1500 attack or less, which is obviously your Kaiba Man. The next card, 3 Mirage Dragon. Trap cards are very, very broken in GOAT format, so Mirage Dragon basically stops your opponent from activating traps during the battle phase, so you can have that happy swing with your 3k beater and not have to worry about trap cards. Our next one-ofs, obviously a really, really broken card, is Blackluster Soldier. Basically, whoever summons this first wins the match, so good old Blackluster Soldier. The next card is the One Breaker, the Magical Warrior. I mean, you've got that pop when you activate a spell. You can add the counter, remove the counter, pop the spell or trap on the field. Really, really good. The next card is the Sengen. Is basically, I mean, it's as broken as in the TCG. Next card, DD Warrior Lady, is basically to get a big body off the board. When it battles, you banish both cards. And the next card to deal with problematic monsters is the Exiled Force. You tribute it, target one monster on the field, and destroy it. Alright, so that is it for the monsters. We're going to move on to spells now, so starting off with spells, the first one is to My Body as a Shield. This is basically to protect your monsters from being destroyed by spell and trap card effects. The next card that I wish was at 2 in the TCG, but it would also be extremely broken, is the 2 Reinforcements of the Army. This is basically, as I said, you really, really, really want to see your Kaiba Man in your hand. The next card, one of the most broken cards to ever exist, the Metamorphosis. This is such a huge staple in GOAT format. Basically, you, as the card says, offer, or the later print, tribute one monster, and then you special summon a fusion monster with that same level. So this is where we're going to tribute our Fusiler Dragon and Turbo Out our Dragoon, and then the Dragoon lets you special summon basically your Blue Ice White Dragons from your hand, and then you basically just carry on like that. The next card is Nobleman of Crossout. Target one face-down defense position monster on the field, destroy it. If it was a flip monster, your opponent basically banishes every single copy of that card. Back row hate, the one Mystical Space Typhoon. Can't go wrong with that. Put those to the side. Now, draw power. Draw power. God, we want these so bad in the TCG. The first one is Graceful Charity. Draw 3 cards and discard 2. Insanely broken card. I always like to debate that Graceful Charity is even more broken than Pot of Greed. If it was in the TCG, Pot of Greed, draw 2, you can neg, you can plus. Graceful Charity, draw 3, discard 2, you can plus. A lot of decks can massively plus from that. So, GOAT format, 1 Graceful Charity, and yes, the Pot of Greed. Like in our playmat, from our lovely sponsors, Leaf Chief, make sure you check them out. I'll leave the link down below if you want to buy some of their playmats, some of their oversleeves, some of their OCG sleeves, some dice, deck boxes. They've got everything you need to have that Yu-Gi-Oh! Drip at local. So, Graceful Charity and 1 Pot of Greed. The next card is basically Raigeki, 1 Burst Stream of Destruction. Raigeki is unfortunately banned in GOAT format, so Burst Stream of Destruction is the next very best thing we can have. Obviously, you cannot attack when you use this effect, but, I mean, you've basically wiped the board, so you don't really, I mean, it doesn't really hurt. The next card, Delinquent Duo, is basically making your opponent discard, pay 1,000 life points, your opponent randomly discards 1, and if they've got more cards in hand, they discard another 1, so it's basically making your opponent neg 2. Premature Burial, basically a Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is also banned in GOAT format, so you have to resort to other spells or traps, which one of them we are playing to reborn monsters. More back row hate, the 1 Heavy Storm, destroy all spells and traps on the field, so this obviously pops your cards as well, but I mean, Heavy Storm, extremely broken card. The Mind Control of GOAT format, you could say, Snatch Steal, you take control of 1 monster on your opponent's side of the field. It is an equipped card, so Heavy Storm can massively affect you with that. But basically, we are playing targets for Metamorphosis. If we Snatch Steal, I don't know, level 1, a level 6, a level 5, or whatever, and then you can just go Metamorphosis and then bring out another fusion, not necessarily Dragoon, so we've got options. Moving on to our traps. One of my favorite traps in the game is the 2 Compulsory Evacuation Device. It is hard to summon in GOAT format sometimes, like, if it's by tribute summoning, if it's by Metamorphosis, and then basically Compulsory is just good because you can just bounce it back. It's good. It's one of my favorite cards. A funny card, Mirror Force. You know what this does. This is what made us have trust issues as kids. The 1 Ring of Destruction. Basically, pop a monster on the field, you and your opponent take the same damage. And the last card we are playing is Call of the Haunted, which is basically our substitute for Monster Reborn. Now, that is it for the main deck. This deck build was sent by my friend Odie, so I just basically, I don't know if I'd make some changes. I feel like I need to test more or have like experience this deck more in like actual duels. And then I don't know, I'll decide if I make changes, but I mean, I'm not too worried. I'm happy with it. It's just like a fun sort of deck that I'll play every now and again. So for fusions, for the fusion monster lineup, King Dragun is basically our main monster that we want to summon off of Metamorphosis, off of your Sealer Dragon. It basically, you can special summon from your hand your Blue Eyes White Dragons, and it's just, it protects them as well. So it's just, once you've got this on board, once you've got like 2 Blue Eyes on the board, it's basically, it's GG, you've got the win guaranteed. Unless, of course, they've got something even more broken. Just other targets for Metamorphosis, Thousand Eyes Restrict, Reaper of the Nightmare, Fiend Skull Dragon, Ohama King, The Last Warrior, Gatling Dragon, and the Dark Paladin. But yeah, I mean, you don't really have to play these. You can just play the one King Dragoon. But yeah, so the sort of like combo lineup is, you want to see... Oh, alright, so let's just say we open Rhoda. I'm searching for these cards. We open Rhoda, activate Rhoda. We've got Metamorphosis in hand. We're going to search the Kaiba Man. Kaiba Man, you're going to tribute it for, obviously, your Blue Eyes White Dragon. And, I mean, in GOAT, that's not very bad to end on a 3k beater. Unless, obviously, they've got, I don't know, something to pop it. But that is basically what you want. Rhoda, Kaiba Man, Blue Eyes. It's very simple Yu-Gi-Oh, guys. Very, very simple. The only complicated thing about GOAT format is that some cards have obviously old text in it, or they might have been like errata or something. So definitely check old prints and new prints of the cards. But now the Metamorphosis combo is, where's Sealer Dragon, Metamorphosis. So you're just gonna summon that. You can normal summon it, but attack and defense get halved, which we don't care. So Fusiler Dragon, Metamorphosis, tribute Fusiler Dragon, and bring out King Dragoon. And then if you've got your Blue Eyes in hand off of King Dragoon, you can special summon. And I mean, it's protected. You've got a 24k beater. You've got a 24k, 2,400 beater, 3,000 beater. And then basically next turn, just pop out another Blue Eyes. And I mean, that's it. That is the aim of the deck. It's, I mean, as I said, it's very, very easy Yu-Gi-Oh. I really enjoy the format, so I don't know, I'm gonna give it a go. I do have other decks I'm testing that were lent to me by my friend Odie. I've got Steino TK, I've got Thunder Dragon, so I'm gonna give those a go, and maybe I'll deck profile those for you guys. But for now, that is all, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and thank you for watching the video. Kaiba Lord out.